Welcome back to my channel. I am limitless, boundless, conscious energy masquerading as a human being named Mercedes Alexis. In today's video, I'm going to be using traffic as a metaphor for how we slow down our own manifestations. I saw a meme on Instagram and the person was talking about how traffic doesn't exist. And it's just so annoying because if there wasn't some person up front being nosy or doing something that they weren't supposed to be doing, there wouldn't be traffic and everybody could go home. And I understand that people genuinely believe that to be the case. And so I wanted to use traffic as a metaphor to explain how we slow down our manifestations. And there's traffic in our mind that is not allowing us to have the things that we want to receive as well. Just like the traffic in real life that is stopping you or slowing you down from getting where you want to go. So, traffic is very real. And how it works is, for those of you who don't understand, which I'm very sure that most of you do, so please disregard this explanation if you don't need it. The reason why traffic exists is because there are too many cars trying to drive along the same space on the freeway at the same time. If at 1 p.m. you're driving on the freeway and you're going from a certain stop to another stop, and these are popular stops, right? But because it's the daytime, the middle of the day, most people are at work. So even though you're driving this 2-mile stretch from this one stop to this other stop, that's a popular stop that a lot of people make, it's only but so many cars on it at this time because again, most people are at work during this midday period. Right now, there's only 100 cars driving this span of the freeway. From this one freeway entrance to the next freeway exit, it's only 100 cars, so the traffic moves consistently and everything flows and you're able to get from point A to point B easily and quickly because there's little to no congestion. There's enough room on that particular road in that particular span of freeway for all these cars to comfortably drive and have space in front of them and have space behind them. There's enough room for that for each person, and so it's a quick, easy drive. But then you come back 4 hours later at 5 p.m. and you make that same drive, and now it takes you so much longer, right? And there's so much traffic. And it's not because somebody at the front is being nosy and slowing everything down. It's because there are too many cars in that one particular space at that one particular time. And so you all do not have the freedom to drive and move comfortably because you are all trying to occupy the same space at the same time. That is what traffic is. And so the outline that I wrote for this video is using traffic as a metaphor to explain how the more thoughts you have, the more you slow down your manifestation. When there are too many cars on the road in one place, it slows everything down because everything is congested, right? Think of your mind like the road. When there are too many thoughts, when there are too many desires, when there are too many identities in one place, which is your mind, it slows down. Your mind becomes congested with these thoughts and desires, just like the road becomes congested with cars. When you're driving in traffic, the cars are so crowded that it hinders freedom of movement. And sometimes you sit there for minutes at a time, only moving a couple inches, a foot, and you're driving a distance that at another time of the day when there's less traffic could take you 10 minutes. But now, because there's so much traffic, it took you an hour. We do the same things with our thoughts, with our desires. Because we think so many different individual thoughts and have so many different individual desires, they are stacking next to each other like traffic. And they are putting space between us and the receiving of our desires because we are, as I said before in my first video, we are jumping from basket to basket. We are jumping from desire to desire. We are jumping from thought to thought, not giving enough real time for momentum to build within any certain thought or any certain desire before we jump to the next. And so we have all these individual thoughts, all these individual desires stacked next to each other, all trying to get through the traffic to become manifested, to get to the point where we believe that they are possible and believe that they are already ours and physically manifest. They're all trying to do that. They are all competing with each other to do that. And it is up to us what we give the most attention to, what we most identify with. That will be the things that get through the most. You know how when you're driving in traffic and you see the sign and they talk about how you should carpool, like if you're going to work at a certain popular area that a lot of people drive every day, and you know other people from your area that are also driving to that area, you all should drive together, because that will reduce the number of cars on the road and that will make the traffic less. Less cars means less congestion, right? When we have all these individual thoughts and desires, right? And we're jumping in all these individual baskets for seconds, sometimes minutes at a time, but not staying in them long enough to fully attract a physical manifestation of being in that. If we were able to combine our thoughts, have similar type of thoughts, instead of just allowing our mind to run freely as we do throughout the day and just think any random thing and just think unconsciously, exist unconsciously, be unconsciously, if we force ourselves to think consciously, to be consciously, to expect consciously, and we had more thoughts that were similar to each other, we would be carpooling our thoughts. We would be having more similar thoughts in the same cars to reduce the number of cars so the cars are able to pass through more freely. When the road is clear, just like when your mind is clear, your thoughts and desires can flow through like a car changing lanes with no other cars around it, easily and effortlessly. A clear and focused mind is like a car driving on a freeway without ever having to brake, because it is smooth sailing to your destination. An anxious or distracted or worried mind is like waiting in traffic for hours only to move a few inches at a time. Because we are controlling our mind. We are controlling the traffic. So we could just as easily, as many great teachers have taught us and recommended, think less thoughts, be more present, practice more present moment awareness, and think less thoughts. And by think less thoughts, I mean attach ourselves to less thoughts, because thoughts are always going to be passing through consciousness. That is what thoughts do. But we do not have to attach ourselves to those thoughts. We do not have to see those thoughts as us. We do not have to identify with those thoughts and what they mean or where they are coming from. We could just be the observer as the thoughts, as the conscious awareness that we truly are. We could just be the observers of life itself in every given moment, because that is where the magic is. That is where everything we desire is, in every single now moment. Trusting the now, trusting that you are creating things, and so you have nothing to worry about. There is no reason to have this desire and then have this very similar desire that's a little less better because maybe you won't get this desire, or also have this desire because somebody told you that the economy is bad, or also have this desire because your cousin recommended to you that you should look into the. You get to choose, right? And so when you're being a conscious creator and choosing consciously, you have less things to attach yourself to. And so your personal thoughts, the thoughts that you identify with, the desires that you want to attach yourself to, can easily and effortlessly pass through your mind because there is no congestion. You are not holding on to all these different things from the past and bringing them on with you, and all these different identities from the past and bringing them on with you. You are being the present moment conscious creator that you are, the conscious awareness that you are, as you choose to consciously in each moment, and not allow our mind to go in all these different directions and be swayed by what we saw on the news, or what we saw on social media, or what we heard walking down the street, or what somebody recommended to us, but what we trust and believe and feel is right for us, for who we are. as individuals. If we did that, it would be smooth sailing to the manifestation of our desires, to allowing ourselves to believe that what we want is already ours. Because we are controlling traffic. We are creating traffic. There doesn't need to be any traffic in our mind. We may have to deal with traffic in real life. That is very real, and we may have to deal with it. But what I'm talking about is the traffic in our mind, the congestion in our mind, the congestion between what we want and allowing it to be, because we stack all these different things with our own belief in between us and what we want, even though they are the same thing, even though there is no separation, even though all is one. We are one. Life is one. We are creating the very things that we desire. So all we have to do is realize that they are ours, trust that they are ours, and bask in the experience of allowing them. Bask in the bridge of incident to everything we desire, because they are a promise. Our desires are a promise to us. They are versions of us in other realities calling us forward to experience them, right? Because we're always experiencing different realities. Most times as human beings, unconsciously, based on our past and what we're used to. But our desires are our literal self calling us forward, calling us to more of ourselves, to experience more of ourselves, to expand, to know ourselves in even more ways, to know what we want in even more ways, to know what we are capable of in even more ways, to be more of all that we can be, to have more of all there is to have. That is what our desires are. They are a promise to us from our higher self, from God, which is the same thing. Our higher self is a part of God. We are a physical part of God on earth. We are experiencing life as 3D physical vessels, but we are God. It is all an illusion. Anything beyond everything being God is an illusion, and it is holding us back from the reality that everything is already ours, from the reality that we can be all things, that we can do all things, that we can have all things, because we already are, because we are God. And the sooner that we can allow our mind to be filled with those kind of thoughts, and allow our mind to be present and still and at peace and not worried and not anxious, but trusting and allowing, everything makes itself available to us. Because it was only waiting for us to be who we truly are, so that we could be the vibrational match of it. We are the only things holding us back. Everything we desire is already ours. Be the vibrational match of it. Believe that it is already yours. Signs follow, they do not precede. You must believe in the reality of the things you desire. And not just that they exist, but they exist for you. That you are capable of having them and being them and doing them. That they are an extension of you. That you are God itself. That you are life itself. And life is happening through you, not to you. We are congesting our mind, our true creative power in this life that we are always creating, with things that we do not intend to. Stop congesting your mind. Once you decide something in your consciousness and stay true to that, you do not congest your mind with other options, or maybe that could happen, but also maybe this, or maybe that's not possible for you, and maybe you should settle for this. When you truly decide and stay true to your decision and the true power that you are and that your mind and imagination has, your desires can easily and effortlessly pass through you into physical form. But you must always remember who I am. I am is God. I am, your awareness of being, What you are identifying as, who you are identifying as, is creating your life. Nothing else but I am. Anytime you're having feelings of doubt or feelings of worry or wondering about how something is going to go, or if you'll be able to have the thing that you want, or if something is possible to you, remind yourself who you are. Remind yourself who I am. Say that to yourself. Who is I am? I am is God. I am is my awareness of being. Who am I aware of being? Because that is what I am allowing to physically manifest into my 3D experience. What am I aware of being? Because that is what I am allowing to physically manifest into my 3D experience. I am is the living energy. These physical bodies are vessels that we use to live on, to experience life in this 3D reality. But I am is the conscious energy that gives life to this body. When this body is no more, I am will forever be. I am has always been. Remind yourself that when you doubt something, when you fear something, you existed long before this bill, before this amount of money, before this specific person, before this problem or thing that you have to deal with. You existed in all ways, on all levels, and you still do. But you are making the mistake of identifying with human limitations. You are making the mistake of identifying with past beliefs that are no longer who you are now. Because now you realize who you truly are. Now you realize you are I am. You are all things. It is only your belief that it is not already yours that is not allowing you to see it as already existing. It already exists now, here, for you, now, here, as you, now, here. Are you believing in that, or are you believing in doubt? Are you believing in the power of I am, of creation itself, of God itself, or are you believing in doubt, fear, and worry? This is your universe. Everything is a reflection of you and your consciousness. Allow it to physically manifest in your experience now by believing it in your reality, by believing it into your physical experience. As Claude Bristol said in The Magic of Believing, which is such a good book and I completely recommend it. I love that one. The act of believing is the starting force, the generating power that leads to accomplishment. Nothing can happen that you do not believe can happen beforehand. The belief comes before the manifestation. It's so easy to say. It's a lot harder to convince your human experiences and expectation that that is the truth. We want to believe that the manifestation comes first, and then we can believe that it's real. But the belief that it's real has to come first, and then the thing can physically manifest. Thank you so much for watching, for coming to my channel, for listening to what I have to say. I'm having such an amazing time in my one-on-one consultations with clients. They're going super well. We are having such positive, affirming, expanding conversations for the clients and me. Consulting is truly something that I was always meant to do, and it feels so natural to me. It feels so great to be able to talk with people, use my understanding, my knowledge, my gifts, my connection with God, with life, with the universe, to help others to grow and to expand and to affirm them and to affirm me and to help me expand, because clients ask questions that I never even thought to ask. So I'm happy for the conversations that we've been having, and I love the amazing clients that I have. You know who you are. Thank you so much for watching, for supporting, for trusting me to be of service to you on this journey. And I look forward to working with other people in one-on-one consultations. My email is in the description box below. Thank you again for watching.